Hi all, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to study about grade 11 chapter 1, the living world. Living means living means all living organisms, plants, animals, birds, insects, microorganisms, all these include in the living world. This living world, they have the habitat. Habitat means the place where the organism lives. Here, there are different habitats mentioned for all the living organisms: cold mountains, deciduous forest, ocean, freshwater lake, desert, hot springs. All these are called the habitats. Now, in these habitats, we find variety of different living organisms. In the movies or in the pictures or in the photographs, you would have seen beauty of nature, of a galloping horse, or migratory birds, or flowers, or a fish. So many different types of Discovery Channel we see the beauty of the living organisms. Among these living organisms, there are two types of things existing together: ecological conflict and cooperation. What is conflict? Conflict means the difference, some friction between them, like lion and a deer. The lion eats the deer, there is a competition between them. A snake, the from a prey, and the host animal, they have a competition between them. And there is also a cooperation among the members of the population and among the population of a community. Suppose lion is a population, there's a population of lion, and inside, in between the lion also, there is conflict and cooperation. And between different population means lion population and a deer population. So there is a conflict between the lion population and the deer population of hunting and to eat the animals and all that. So in any ecosystem or any population, you will find the conflict and cooperation among the population of the same members and among the different population of different community. So this is very important for us to understand. Now let us understand, so what is life now? How can we say that what is living? So living means, living traditionally has a very the brief definition, that the organisms which can grow, reproduce, have ability to sense the environment, can mount a suitable response, and it has the features like metabolism, ability to self replicate, self organize, interact when emergency. All these are the characteristics of living organisms. Initially, living organism definition was growth, reproduction, and ability to respire and all that. But now the definition of living has little bit changed. So let us understand what is living organisms. So all first characteristics of living organisms is all living organisms grow. What is grow? Growing means to increase in the mass and increase in the number of individuals. Increase in mass means increase in number of cells of the living organisms, and increase in number of individual means to reproduce. And now let us see further in this. So the growth in the living organisms, there are two types of growth in plants. This growth is by cell division, and uh, in the plants, this cell division, they leads to continuous growth. Plant don't have any limitations in their height. Plant can continuously grow in height as well as in the sides. So in the plants, this cell division, it leads, it's a permanent and throughout the process going on in their lifespan, to increase the number of cell and to keep on growing. But in the animals, it is not so. The growth is seen up to certain age only, and the growth is in up to certain and only, and this inside the living animal body, there is a cell division, and there will be replace and repair of the lost cells. But in animals, there is a reproduction also taking place, which is giving rise to new animals. Now the next is unicellular organisms. For the unicellular organisms, they reproduce or by growth, or they grow by cell division. For them, growing means multiplying the cell. When the single cell divides and multiplies, the number of cells will increase and the colony will grow. You would have seen the culture of the organisms on the petri dish, and we can see they grow in their size of the colony increases as the day passes. So in majority, higher animals and plants grow and reproduce and are mutually exclusive events. Growth and reproduction is going together. Now, growth also means that increase in the body mass. Increase in the body mass is also called as growth. Now, now this is very important to understand that non-living objects, they also show some amount of growth, like means some amount of increase in the body mass, like the mountains and the sand mountains, they do grow. When the winds blow, the sands do get deposited on them. However, this kind of growth is very minute, and this kind of growth of accumulation of the mass on the non-living object does not come from inside, it is from the external growth. So living organisms, they exhibit the internal growth. Internal growth means the cells from their body will grow and the organism will increase its height from inside. So this is the condition of the growth. Now let us understand the next, reproduction. Likewise, reproduction is also characteristics of living organisms. Reproduction refers to the production of progeny uh, from the parents. In some of the organisms, unicellular organisms, there is only asexual reproduction, means the organism itself can reproduce into number of different organisms, and in higher organisms there is sexual reproduction taking place. So let us take the example of fungi. Fungi multiply and spread easily due to asexual spores. Then lower organisms like yeast and hydra, there is budding. A bud will grow and the organism will reproduce. In planaria and flatworm, we observe regeneration. Regeneration is a process in which if a body part is cut, from that body part again the new entire organism can grow. So the lost part of the body is giving rise to new organisms. In the fungi, the filamentous algae and the mosses, they all multiply by fragmentation. Then in the next, unicellular algae or amoeba, reproduction is a synchronous with growth, means they grow also and they reproduce also, means a single cell they will divide into two organisms. So the cell division is a process of growth also in them, and it is a process of reproduction also in such organisms. So it will lead to increase in the number of cells. So so this way we understand that growth is an equivalent to increase in the number of mass. Increase in number of mass or increase in number of cells is also the growth. For single cell organisms, growth means increase in the number of mass or the cells. So now, but there are certain limitations for this also, that certain organisms do not reproduce, like mules and sterile worker bee, infertile human couples, etc. They don't reproduce. Hence, reproduction cannot be an all inclusive definition for the characteristics of living organisms. It all includes, it cannot be the complete definition, yes, but it is true that it is one of the major factor of the living organisms for growing, and which is different from non-living organisms. But there are certain exceptions, that sterile mules, worker bee and infertile couples, human couples, they cannot be able to produce new organisms. So this is what the two topics we have covered. Let's see in next video. Thank you for watching.
Boingy boing.